Hi, everybody. Welcome to Petra's Happy Place. My name is Petra, and I am in my happy place today. The laundry just finished, the washer just died down, so I feel it's kind of safe to go ahead and do some recording this morning. It is Monday morning, January 30th, I think. Yeah, for me, it's the 30th in the morning. And I thought I would just come and share a January wrap up as well as my plans for February. I have my notebook and I have my contacts in today. So I'm hoping I can read this without having to put my glasses on. So, anyway, let's talk about a wrap up for January. What are some things that I've finished? Can you see it? I finished my Outlander shawl. This is a pattern from Jeannie from On the Hook Crochet, and I've had to take Fancy off of her stand, and she is just precariously sitting on some bins wanting to show off this cowl. So, or actually a shawl. Oh, Fancy, what you doing? Okay, so let me show you. I have folded this over, and I think that's what the pattern shows as well. And I placed just a little shawl pin on her. It serves no function other than just, being fancy. And then you make it as long as you want. And then you add some ties onto it. And I've made some ties, and I've gone ahead and tied it. And see, it holds down this this back side here. And obviously, she's a whole lot thinner than I am. But anyway, I wanted to show you this. I've used on here the Ogo Colorama Halo and in the green color. And this is all one. And then I started another one, and I didn't even get halfway through the second one. So, yeah, it didn't take too much yarn, and I'm so excited about this. Now, the stitch is lovely because it's nice and warm, okay? This is obviously acrylic yarn, and whoops, let me see here. Can I get her to stay? No, she's gonna fall. How did I have her? Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, let's try it this way. Stay. So, it's a linen stitch, and so it's nice and tightly woven, so it'll keep you nice and warm. But I'm thinking that even if you used like the same stitch with a wool yarn, that it would be even warmer. So I'm thinking I might try this in a wool or wool blend yarn. But I love it. Isn't it gorgeous? I just love the colors. And I plan on gifting this week at work. So I had to show you guys how cool it turned out. I just love it. Thank you, Jeannie. Yeah. So it uses the linen stitch, and the directions are so incredibly easy to follow. Yep, I love it. So I'm gonna lay her down. She's had enough activity, and she just needs to rest for the rest of the day. So let me lay her down so she won't fall over. There you go. Okay. I finished that, and I also finished the berry wrap by Pamela Barton from Pamela's Adoring Crochet. I say I finished it. I have not woven in the ends, but it's only a couple of ends. So I used two hanks of yarn, skeins of yarn, excuse me, skeins of yarn, no, hanks that I caked up. So whatever form you wanted, I did use 2 of them of Believe by Petra. This is Melissa from Crochet in Agreement. And there you go. It's not too awfully long. I'm thinking, okay, I haven't blocked it. I'm thinking maybe I'll block it. And you can definitely tell that it's 2 different two different, but that's okay. I don't think it's that noticeable. No, I don't think it's that noticeable. But, it's just a nice little wrap. And if you think about it, this is going to be nice. Okay, this is how I would wear it. I would go like this. And this is a purple and teal. And I would take my shawl pin and I would go like this. Like so. I'd probably wear it like this. I love it. I love it. But you can, once it's been blocked and it grows. Now this is acrylic, so it's okay. I mean, I like acrylic. Not my favorite, but it works. Put a shawl pin there, different ways you can wear it. Or I imagine one could even take it and if I took not a shawl pin, but just like a clasp of some kind. Now, I don't know if I would do it with a 3-weight yarn. This is kind of full, but you could get away with it, I think. But you could actually wear it as a nice, this is very thick and warm. Anyway, so different ways you can wear it. And that is the the Berry Wrap by Pamela Barton. Okay. So that one's done. 2 projects or 2 things that I finished. But let me tell you everything else that I did in the month of January. I figured what I need to start doing is writing them down. So I have started a list in my notebook. I've started a list, and I'm going to, at the end of the month, like draw a line, or I'll do it like a bracket or something to show what month I completed it in. So what did I finish in the month of January? I did 2 hats by TL Yarn Crafts, the Mesa hat. I did 2 of those. I did a green bobble hat. I finished a square for my Tunisian, a different stitch for the Tunisian project that I'm working on. I did a striped Tunisian knit stitch using the Furls yarn. So I did 2. I finished that Outlander wrap, and then I did the Berry wrap. So that's 7 things that I finished in the month. Now, those are the things that I finished. I am not including in my finished projects the things that I have ongoing. So all of the blankets that I have ongoing, I'm not going to include them until I'm completely finished with them. Okay. So that's what I've had. That's been a busy month for me. Yeah. Because there are things that I've started or that I'm working on, like the blankets that, yeah. So anyway, what else have I been doing in the month of January? Well, in the month of December, or maybe it was the first part of January. I found out, now this is really, really cool. I found someone on YouTube, another crocheter, and I watched a video. It popped up on, a recommended video, and it popped up. And so I was watching it, and she mentioned that she lives in Kentucky. So I'm like, hello, another Kentuckian. Oh, my hair, it's getting too long, guys. My hair is just getting unruly. I'd really like to go get it cut, to tell you the truth. Anyway, so I reached out to her and I asked her where in Kentucky she lived, because I told her, because I live in such and such, I'm not going to give details, okay? So I lived in such and such or outside of such and such a town. And she said, well, I live outside of such and such a town. And I'm thinking, okay, there's only one place that she could be referring to. I said, well, I live in this town. And okay, guys, this town doesn't even have, it's so small, it doesn't have any street lights. I mean, like, not street lights, stoplights. It has like maybe 2 or 3 stop signs. I mean, there's just not much to this town. So I said, I live in this town. And she said, so do I. And I said, I live here. She says, and I live here. Guys, we live like literally as the crow flies, less than a mile away from each other. What are the chances of that? 2 YouTubers that are crocheters that live within a mile of each other. What? That's just cray-cray. So, guess what I did? I met up with her yesterday. Yay! It was just a quick meetup, but it was so great. And I'm going to call her out, even though her channel is bigger than mine right now. And she is like on the ball. But it's Kristen from Kristen Crochets. And yeah, she's a young gal, and she's been doing YouTube or she's been having a channel now for less than a year, and she's already surpassed my numbers by far. And so I was so thrilled to meet her. Well, the reason why I was meeting up with her was because I wanted to gift her some yarn. I'm trying to destash. And I asked her, I said, would you like this? She goes, well, yeah. Excuse me. Well, yeah, I'd love to have some of that. So I took out the yarns. Okay, now I'm going through my yarns, guys. And I had, I have a lot of yarn. And I don't have as much as some, and I have way more than others. And okay, it's not a complaining, it's not a comparing game. I'm not trying to compare, but I have more than I will ever use in my lifetime. That is, if I don't buy another thing of yarn ever. But you know how we are, and we go through phases that we like something, and then we change our mind, or we have a project in mind, and then we think, I'm never going to have time to do that, or I really don't want to do that now anyway. So I was going through, and I had put away over here in some tubs and some space bags, I had put away a lot of yarn. And in preparation to wanting to, move. Well, I'm like, okay, that's not going to happen in the next couple months. And it's bugging me that all that yarn it was calling out to me, guys. That yarn, it was saying, Mama, let me out. I want to see you. And so I took it out and I started to put it back out on my shelves. Well, I'm like, I don't have enough room on my shelves. So I'm like, okay, I forgot I had this beautiful thing right here in this bag that I had intended to use. I forgot all about it. And I have some yarn on my other shelf out, exposed to the light, exposed to my eyeballs. And I'm like, I am never going to get around to using that. And I don't even remember where I got it or what purpose I had for it, but it's not something that I want to keep. It's not bringing me joy. And so I gifted it to my new friend, Kristen, and she loves the colors and she was so excited to get them. And I'm so happy I was able to get rid of it. And I say get rid of in a very nice way. Okay. I didn't like throw it out or nothing like that. You know, I was gifting it to somebody that could really use it. And it makes me feel so good. Well, so now I've got almost all of that yarn put back on the shelves, and I'm rearranging, and I'm actually like, it's like, oh, I love this yarn. I want to use it. And so now, of course, it's giving me all these ideas of what I want to do. And there's just not enough time in the day, to tell you the truth. But something else occurred to me is like when especially my wool and wool blend yarns, I'm realizing that my ratio of fingering weight to 4-weight yarn is like way off, because I got a lot of the fingering weight and not very much of the 4-weight. And I don't know what it is. I guess it's because I am in love with the colorways of all my fingering weight yarn. When I look at my 4-weight over here, I'm just not inspired by any of it. And you know, okay, I'm thinking, well, maybe I could make something with this, or maybe I could make something with that. But it's not like screaming, "Oh, I want to be a poncho, or I want to be a sweater, or I want to be a hat, or I want to be a shawl." It's just not screaming at me the way my fingering weight yarn is. So I'm like, well, now I got to get rid of all my 4-weight yarn, or I got to get rid of more fingering weight yarn. And no, I watched a video, and it reminded me, this was another video, and it reminded me that you can always double up the yarn. So I could double up the fingering weight yarn to make a DK weight, which is one of my favorites, you know? So it's like, no, I'll get rid of the 4-weight yarn, maybe, or maybe I will throw something together real quick, you know, to make something quick, because it works up a whole lot quicker than fingering weight. So anyway, that is what I've been doing. Now, my shelves behind me that you can see back there, that has all of my, those white wire shelves. They have all of my cotton and cotton blend yarn. And I've got more. That's all I've got left, pretty much, in one space bag left over there, that I want to try to put up on that the wire shelving. And I do have some empties. See, I got at least 3. And so I'm hoping, or I'm in hopes, to get all of that done today. And I really want to work on cleaning up this room. It looks like it's such a mess to me, and I'm just so tired of it being messy. And I'm hoping that I can get to my shed to be able to take some of my boxes and stuff and bins that have other stuff in it other than craft and yarn stuff, that I'm going to just get rid of it and put it in the shed and not have to think about it. That's my plan. So that has been what I've been up to in the month of January. There are some things that are going on in my head, totally non-yarn related, and it is giving me pause, if you will, about what's important. And one of my big things is I'm starting to really come to the realization that the friendships that I have formed in my past and even in my present, I need to work on building up and those friendships and spending quality time with some people that I know need or want friendships themselves. And I need that. Yeah. Things, January, no, I should say last year was a very difficult year for me. And there have been several people that have reached out to me in friendship, and I have not reciprocated in a way that truly expresses how thankful I am for their friendship. And I'm sorry, I'm looking down over here at my one stash of yarn that I have, and I'm like, those colors are so gorgeous. Oh, and that would go with that. And my mind is racing. I'm talking about something completely different, and I'm looking at this yarn and going, oh, how beautiful it is. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's talk about February a little bit. Okay. It's the month of love. It's the month. A lot of people are doing a lot of Valentine's Day crafting and things like that. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but I love Valentine's Day, but it's just another day for me. Mr. Happy and I are happy all the time, and so, well, that's not true. We're not happy all the time, but you know what I mean. You know, we don't need a certain day to devote to just, love, because, every day is like, okay, anyway, that's enough mush talk. So I'm going about it. I'm not doing any like special Valentine's Day projects. I'm not going to be doing any pinky, for the sake of it being pink because it's Valentine's Day, or red or something like that. Anyway, let me tell you what I am going to be doing. Okay, so the beginning of the year, if you'll recall, I decided that every month of this year of 2023, I'm going to dedicate to a designer. Now, this month, January, was dedicated towards TL Yarn Crafts, Tony Lipsy from TL Yarn Crafts, and I did a couple of her hats. Okay. It was just one design, and I had gotten back into the Tunisian, and I was really happy about that. So I guess you could say, in a way, it was the month of Tunisian too. But the month of February, are you ready for the new designer? I'm going to show you her picture, okay? I love her, and I've done so many of her projects, but I'm going to dedicate the month of February to Janie from On the Hook Crochet. Woohoo! or I think it's just on the hook. On the hook. So, Jeannie, this month is going to be dedicated to her and her designs. So, I kind of cheated a little bit. I kind of cheated because, as you can see, this is an actual pattern. All right. And I've already done, guys, it's not even the end of January. I still have another day and a half of January. And let's see here. Hold on. Ta-da! Yay! I'm not done. Okay, I'm not done, guys. So don't freak out. It's like, but I am so excited about this because I am using another Colorama Halo Ogo. This is the gray color, which is called Graphite Frost. And I had 4 of these. And this right here is one. So I have another one. And what I'm going to do here at the end, okay, see, I'm ending with this the darkest part. So instead of on here starting on the light side, I'm going to start on the dark side and finish up till as long as I want to get it. Well, that means that I'll still have the white that I can do. I can start a sleeve here, and I'll start with the lightest color. And then when I get the sleeve as long as I want it to go, then I'll grab another halo and start with the light side and do the sleeve on this side. Isn't that fun? Are we having fun? Now, if you'll see her sample, or the one that she did, was short sleeve. I'm going to make this one long sleeve. And when I get done with it, now I'm not making stripes, obviously, she shows how to do the stripes. But I think once I get done with the entire sweater, I'm going to trim it because I'm not happy with this, with the collar. I mean, with the around the collar here. I don't like just that, the way that is. I think I'd like to put like another stitch. Maybe I'll do a single crochet and then do like an open, or maybe I'll just do 2 rounds of like that, what she calls a mesh stitch. So maybe I'll do that. But isn't it pretty, guys? With the cream and the gray, I just think it's so pretty. And I have plenty of yarn. Yay! So my plan for February is to finish that, obviously. And I already have an idea in mind for the second project I want to do. I believe, I don't know. If I can, I'm going to try to do 2 of these, but I am really liking the multicolored cardigan that she did. And I'm thinking I want to do it with my Be So Baby yarn. I have so much Be So Baby yarn, and I'm thinking it is a 3 weight. However, if I double it up and make it nice and thick, it'll be, but maybe not. I don't know. Because it is milk fiber, I might just leave it and maybe do another one closer to the summertime and have it make it be a summertime type cardigan. but I want to do that pattern because it's a different construction, and I want to try that. Now, for those of you that do not know, Jeannie from On the Hook, she all her stuff is wearable. Okay, she doesn't do, well, she does blankets, but the crux of her channel is wearable style. And she doesn't write her patterns in the traditional form, meaning, she doesn't say, okay, for 1X chain so and so, for extra small chain so and so. She doesn't do that. She doesn't do the sizes. She says, take your measurement, measure your hips around the largest part and chain that many. I mean, it's so simplified, but in my mind, it's genius. And that's the way I would want to write my patterns, because they're so easy to follow. And what I think is so genius about this is that, we'll put it this way. I made several things several years ago, okay, by her, and it got me to thinking about wearables, okay? And it's because of her and her patterns and the way she writes them. She makes us feel like you can be a beginner crocheter and make a wearable. And you don't have to be a highfalutin fancy schmancy using the highfalutin yarns and you know what I'm talking about, right? You don't have to be the kind of person to write a pattern that says, okay, count so many stitches and then do such and such. And, if you're a medium, you need to do it like this. And if you're a 2X, you need to do it like that. It makes me think I can do this. And if I do enough of it, I don't need a pattern. I'll know these things. So some of you who have been with me and my channel for a little while, you know that I love doing wearables. And that's basically what I do on my channel. I do a lot of other things, but basically all I do is wearables. And some of you have come to me and you've asked, well, you say, I can't make this. Or you've come to me and I've said, okay, if you do this and this and this, you could make your garment do this and such, and I would explain things. And several of you have reached out to me and you said, that made perfect sense. And I'm able to do that now. That's the kind of inspiration that Jeannie gave me that I want to give you. So that's why this month of February, I want to focus on Jeannie from On the Hook. And she's got, if you look on her Etsy store, she's got tops and sweaters. She's got cardigans and cowls and tunics and vests. Oh, vests, that's the other thing. She had a new vest that she did, and I bought that pattern last week, and I'm going to make one of those vests because it's gorgeous. I love it. So I'm gonna have to make one of those this month. So yeah, like I'm a fairly fast crocheter, and I was able to work this sweater up as far as I've gotten. It has taken me if I think about it, 2 days, and that's like working like 3 or 4 hours. Okay, so this is only you can do this, guys. You can really work on wearables, and I hope that in the month of February, February is kind of a month, not very many people are like wanting to be outside. So find something that you want to make for yourself. Make yourself a wearable. Make it in your favorite color. And I'd love to hear all about it. Okay. So if you decide after watching this video that maybe I'm going to reach out, maybe I'm going to go over to Jeannie's channel, or maybe I have this idea, or maybe I found a magazine and there was a certain thing in that magazine that you want to make, I'm encouraging you guys, do something for yourselves. Make yourself a wearable this month. Okay? So that's the designer of the month, Jeannie from On the Hook. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. I wanted to give you an update on, let me see if I have anything else I wanted to talk about. Okay, so I want to tell you what I'm going to be working on this month. So I finished the Forget Me Not. That was the first excuse me, section. Let me show you here. So I'm not using those exact same colors, but I'm going to show you this. Oop, wrong side. Okay, so those are the 4 different colorways that are in the fruit garden. And I was working on, or I am working on, this colorway, and it's called Red House. And that particular pattern is called Forget Me Not. And I finished all 8 of them. Okay, so here they are. Aren't they pretty? Now, it looks kind of funky because I got all these stitch markers in, but I wanted to have the stitch markers in the corners, because I know that later on when I put them together, when I sew them together, I'll need to know where the corners are, because I need to line up the corners. So I got all 8 of them done, and all the ends are woven in, guys. All the ends are woven in. So they're all done. So that means that this month is going to be focused on a different flower. And this is this is called the Columbine, and they actually use my colorway, or close to it, right there. And that's what that's going to look like. And I'm supposed to do 4 of those for the month of, or for this next round. So I'm going to be doing 4 of those. And I haven't started on those yet, by the way. I've got all the colors right there. All the yarns that I'm going to be using are in there. And it's just a matter of pulling out and putting it here in my whip cart. Okay, so I'm going to push my whip cart back so I can show you the other things I'm going to be working on this month. I should have done something, and I just keep forgetting, so I don't know what's going on, but I just keep forgetting to do it. I want to put like some kind of a stitch marker on the projects to show you where I was the last time. You know what I'm saying? So you guys can see the progress that I'm making. But this is my Bronte ripple blanket. And this one is one of those blanket projects that I want to do. I want to get it done before the end of the year, obviously, but it's going to be done probably before June, because I sit here and I'll sit in front of the TV and I'll work on it. Now I'm going to fold it so I can, show you a good portion of it. So this is it folded in half. Oh, look, I match. Okay, so yeah. And so I'm about halfway done. Now I'm looking at my yarn, what I have left. And this is using a 4-weight yarn. And I will try to remember to put the the link to that pattern that I got. I think I got it on Ravelry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it on Ravelry. But I'm using a 4-weight yarn with Hobby Lobby yarn, Big Twist, and what's the third one? Oh, Red Heart, Super Saver. So I'm going to need to get 2 more skeins of the Big Twist, but I know that it's something that they have at Joann's, so I can go and pick that up anytime. So yeah, that is that Bronte Ripple. Then okay, Mr. Happy's temperature blanket. I put one more row on, guys, and actually, was it 1 or 2? 2. Yeah. But it took me a while to do the rows because I had forgotten like the pattern. It had been so long since I picked up the hook for this that I kind of forgot the number of stitches. I had to keep referring to stitches below. So I haven't done hardly anything. This makes me dizzy when I look at it, to tell you the truth. But there's that. I had worked one half of one side already. Okay, there's still the other half. And then I did the other half halfway. So I'm getting there. I'll do a couple ends, and then I'll work a day or so. But that is the temperature blanket for Mr. Happy. And I've gotten through, let me see here. This is a copy of what I had been doing, but I'm like on the 24th day of March. So I'm just going to go until the blanket is large enough that it can just cover his lap or something. It's not going to be a huge blanket. So that is that. Okay, so my temperature blanket for me, for those of you that didn't see before, I'm making squares for each month. And for the month of January, I have not finished. Let me see where I put my list. Oh, there it is. It's in my book. So I'm caught up to the 21st. So I have, a little over a week to do. But what I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to wait until probably tomorrow or, let's see here, tomorrow or Wednesday. And I'm just going to finish the rest of the month. To me, it's not worth it to sit down and just do one row a day because they go so quickly. You see what I'm saying? So I have just a couple of ends to go in, but this is through the 21st. And I don't know why it's showing up navy, but it's the only blue in here is this royal blue. The rest of it is purples and lavenders. So I think it's beautiful. I love this square. It's turning out so lovely. The blue is the coldest. Actually, the dark blue is the warmest, coldest. I got 3 cold colors, and this isn't the coldest. So we have not yet used like a denim blue or the cloud blue, which is a very light blue. Those are actually the coldest temps. So we have not yet in Kentucky in January gotten below, what would it be? 32 degrees. So yeah, that's very unusual for Kentucky. But I'm loving the stitch. I'm loving everything about this. So those are the 3 big blankets, but the fruit garden blanket as well. Those are projects that are ongoing throughout the year, and I will attempt to remember to put a stitch marker in so you guys can see the progress I've made from month to month. Okay, what else am I going to be working on? Well, I'm going to be working on, obviously, all of those blankets, plus I want to finish that winter stripes sweater. I want to make there. I have a dear friend. She is kind of like a sister from another. No, I don't know. A cousin, maybe. I don't know what I would want to call her. She's like a step cousin. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, her year, if you guys could imagine, has been even rougher than mine last year. So our hearts are very close to each other. We have a lot of empathy for each other and the things that we're going through. And I want to make her a poncho. I want to make her a poncho. So I reached out to her and I asked her what her favorite color was. And she said, probably blue. So I'm going to be going through my stash and trying to find some blues to make her a poncho. I have no idea. If you guys have a really good pattern for a poncho, I do not want to do a granny square poncho, everybody. So please don't put that in your comments. I don't want to do a granny square. But I do want to do a poncho for her. She lives about an hour and a half away, and so the temperatures are roughly the same as they are here. So I think a poncho would be perfect. One size fits all, or most, I should say. And yeah, I think it would be something that she would get a lot of use out of. So if you have a poncho pattern that I even looked at Jeannie's. I already looked at Jeannie from On the Hook, and I didn't really see one. So I can't use one of hers, being the designer of the month. But if you find one, let me know. Give me your ideas. What else am I going to be doing? I'm obviously going to be doing another pattern from Jeannie from On the Hook. I'm also going to be working on a design. I have something, a project that I need to do this for me. Okay. I'm collaborating with Melissa from Crochet in Agreement to make some yarn for me. And it's going to be a project. It's actually going to be, I'm hoping for a series of 4, but right now a series of 3, where we're going to I'm going to put together the design and the pattern, and she's going to design the yarn, and we're going to package it together and sell it. Don't know all the details yet. Haven't figured that out. But it's going to be based on Alphonse Mucha. I have fallen in love with this artist, and I just, the colors, the symbolism, the, not necessarily like symbolism isn't like a bad thing. I'm just talking about the, excuse me, what he desired to do. Those kinds of things are, I went to an exhibit and I just loved it. I loved everything about this exhibit. The history, his history, his designs. It's just unbelievably amazing. But I have 3 projects that I'm basing off of certain, excuse me, certain um, paintings of his. And I'm looking forward to, I just want to do this. But I'm having to use, because I don't have the yarn right now. I know the colorways, but I don't have the actual yarn. I'm having to find from my stash, and I'm trying to find just the right pattern, just the right stitches. I'm racking my brain trying to find the perfect thing, and it's just it's pressure, and I know I'm putting pressure on myself, but I just want it to be perfect. But anyway, I had promised myself that I had wanted to finish this before the end of the month in order to have the whole project, be able to get it out, have the pattern go out, have the testers test them, make sure that they're going to work, and then yeah, have all the yarn and have everything packaged and ready to go before. I think we're going to try to do it like in May sometime. That's the deadline that I've kind of put on myself. So let's hope. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong with my voice. All of a sudden, I just got something in my throat. Yeah. So, oh, and there's another thing I want to do this month. I want to either work on or finish something from Area 51 back there. I already kind of took a peek at it yesterday to kind of like gauge what I had, what I might want to do. And yeah, there's several wearables. There's a blanket. There's well, actually, there's more than one blanket. There's a couple of like one blanket, one throw. Yeah, wearables, shawls. There's different projects back there. So it's going to be a matter of figuring out what I'm going to work on. I don't know as if I'm going to actually finish, so I'm not going to dedicate myself to finishing any one thing, but I will work on something. That is a promise. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Excuse me. I'll try to remember to put all the links that I mentioned in the description box below. And remember, in the comment section, give me your suggestions for a poncho, or if you have comments about any of the projects that I've been working on, or suggestions for future projects, let me know. I'm always up for something new. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.